Hi, this is Lorraine Wellman, and I'm here with my good friend Connie Baum. And Connie Baum has a really interesting website that I'd like to share with you. Welcome, Connie.
Hi, Lorraine.
How are you?
I'm good. It's nice to be with you.
Oh, good deal. Well, listen, I wanted to share with some of the readers on my blog today about your website, the Food Stamp Cooking Club. And I wondered if you could share with us a little bit about why you started the Food Stamps Cooking Club site.
Well, I was making lunch one day, and I poked my head into the refrigerator, and I was bemoaning the fact that the price of groceries had gone up again. And I thought to myself and out loud, what do people with families do? How do they manage? And I thought, you know, they probably are having trouble managing. I think I want to help them. So I just decided to start a little blog, and I was working with a coach at the time, and she said, I want you to make an impact. And I thought, I don't even hardly know what that means, but I wanted to make a difference. And I think we are making a difference. I do believe it's starting to happen.
Well, I'm one of your readers. I go there quite often because we have a friendship outside of the blogging community, and that's the one thing that really hits me when I come to your site is that you have an amazing collection of readers who not only come there to read, but they come there to share, and there's a real strong sense of community. And I wondered if you could explain that. I mean, there seems to be a real desire of like-minded people that come to your site.
Well, you know, they say that birds of a feather flock together, and I think that the Food Stamps Cooking Club has attracted a certain group of people with a mindset that want to help others. We have one that is adamant that people should learn how to cook from scratch. We have one who loves beans, and every time a bean recipe comes up, she chimes in. We have one who's very well organized, and she gives us all kinds of little tips and helpful ideas. We have people with big families. We have people who live alone. We have people with single mothers with kids. They're all looking for answers and looking to help one another. So the fact that we've built community has just been a glorious experience for me. I really didn't envision that when I started. I just thought, well, you know, if we can find somebody that maybe needs a little help, we can have them over to the house and have a little cooking class and do a little visiting, and the kids will know where the toys are, and you know, that happened, but then it blossomed into so much more.
Well, I think that's really true, and the fascinating thing is that you cover a wide cross section of community of people. I think it's, you know, the title of your blog says Food Stamps Cooking Club, and yet I notice when you go to the site and you explore a little bit, you really seem to cover the gamut of people, you know, cross-section of people who maybe use WIC or the Food Stamps SNAP program, as they call it now. You've got, you encourage the use of farmers markets and Angel Food Ministries and food pantries. You really really seem to reach out to people to really inspire them to not only save money when they're shopping and to stretch those dollars, but also to really do it in a healthy way. And I know that you have an extensive background in the health and wellness community. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm kind of a health nut. I'm a fanatic because I think, you know, these bodies, if we ever wear these bodies out, where are we going to live? So it behooves us to take care of the body that we were born with, and the best way to do that is to feed it well and water it and let it grow. So
very true.
It's been really exciting. And you know, you mentioned the food commodities. When we had our very first cooking class offline, one of the very first people to sign up was an older woman, quite a bit older than I. Well, I'm only 33, you know. But she was living in a little apartment, and she saw the ad that we had put in the Beatrice newspaper. Beatrice is a town about 35 miles from us. It's a bigger town than ours. And she had seen the ad in the newspaper, and she called me the minute she read the ad and said, I'm going to sign up for your class. And I was surprised, and I asked her why she wanted to sign up, and she said, well, you know, you can always learn new stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
And she brought a lot of experience to the table because she had done a lot of canning and gardening and things. And we can learn so much from one another if we'll just open our hearts and open our homes and get acquainted with other people. We have so many gifts to share with one another.
That's true. And, you know, I know, you know, as I grew up, you know, I grew up in a small community, and it seemed like, you know, people would talk disparagingly about people on food stamps on occasion. And, you know, that's always bothered me. And when I come to your site and I look around, I don't get that at all. I feel like the people who come there are treated with respect. They, you know, they offer up, like you say, their experience, their knowledge, tips that they've learned over the years. And, you know, I really feel like you really approach the people who come and contribute in a very encouraging way. And I love that.
Well, thank you. I don't know if you've heard the story about the woman who went to the grocery store and had to use food stamps, and the people behind her were irritated, and they were making disparaging remarks, and she finally just left her food on the counter and left in tears. She just ran out of the store in tears. And someone who knew her said to the people who were all mad because she'd held up the line or whatever, that her husband had recently passed away, and she had 3 little children to take care of, and she was doing the best she could. Well, when the people found out about that, they took a whole completely different attitude, and they contributed and chipped in, and they bought meat, and they bought vegetables, and they bought milk, and they bought real food for those children. So if we can think about people in terms of what they need, not how can they need it, I think it helps.
I think so too, and I think you know, with the economic downturn that this country has gone through in the last few years, I think more people than ever, if you listen to the news and the statistics that they, you know, put out there for us to hear, you know, there's increasing numbers of people from cross sections of this country, you know, all different economic backgrounds, who maybe for the first time in their life are having to take advantage of, say, the farmers markets or the commodities program, or even Angel Food Ministries, food stamps, whatever it is, you know, just to make ends meet and to feed their families. And, you know, sometimes people are ashamed, you know, to admit that. But I think that your site really looks beyond all of that and really tries to encourage and uplift people in a way that maybe they're not necessarily used to. And I think that that's a wonderful thing, because, you know, people who are eating healthy and really trying to improve their life, they deserve to be acknowledged and encouraged, and to, you know, to gain the wisdom that comes from this site, from all of those who come and participate. And,
I think you're right. They say that 1 in 6 children is living in poverty. And just this week, we found out that the welfare office, I call it welfare office, it's really the social services office, who helps people sign up for food stamps and that sort of thing. The one that we have had in town has closed. The nearest one was 20 miles away. It's closing.
Oh, no.
Now go 35 miles. And some of these people don't, you know, there are transportation issues. There are all kinds of issues involved. So we really need to be a community and be aware of what those needs are and help people meet those needs. If they need transportation, or if they need a handout, if they, you know, just somebody to understand what they're going through.
Yes. Yes, I think that's true, and it is. It's happening all over the country. And, you know, I noticed also that you had a recent post talking about the Dinner Diva and your partnership with her, and she's been running a special that benefits feedingamerica.org.
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about that? You know, what that has to add to your site?
you know, every time we can partner with somebody who's doing something that we think fits in with our philosophy, we like to do that. The Dinner Diva has a program whereby part of the sales of her products goes to feed people. The woman from Living on a Dime, Tara,
yes,
she has a program that helps people, and these are not expensive things. They're products that will help people, but they're not out of reach. And so when you help somebody, it really does everybody a lot of good.
That's awesome. And so what are your long-term goals with the Food Stamps Cooking Club? I know you've been about enlightening people, encouraging them to participate, to share recipes and tips and that kind of thing. What are your long-range goals with Food
Ever
Stamps?
since we started, we've had offline cooking classes to augment the blog. We had one virtual class. It was a video type thing.
Yes.
That was fun. We'd like to have a real honest-to-goodness chef, and we're flirting with the idea. We have from Salt Lake City who's coming. Chef Boucher is coming to Lincoln this spring. So we hope to be able to connect somehow with him.
That would be awesome.
He's quite good. He's put out a series of books that starts out with the very, very basics of learning to cook. And he was so kind as to autograph a copy and send it. And we've got, you know, I've got buds all over the blogosphere, and he's one of our buds. We're excited. We don't know exactly where it's all going to take us, but it's evolving, and it's extremely organic, so it's whatever it needs to be is what it's going to be. I think there will always be people who have need. There are always going to be people who say, okay, I'm finally ready to garden now. There are always people who are going to say, now tell me about sprouts and how can I grow stuff in my windows and that sort of thing. So we want to keep growing and evolving and being the best we can be and help the most people.
I think that's great. And so then your next cooking class, would that be in the spring then with the chef?
The offline class will probably be in the fall, but we might be able to do a virtual one. We just don't have the bugs worked out yet with Sean.
I see. Those things tend to take time.
They do, and these chefs, they're awful busy stirring things up.
Well, that's great. That's great. Well, can you share with us the URL to your site, Connie?
Yes, I can. It is foodstampscookingclub.com/blog. And we love comments.
Yes, you do, and I see you get quite a few of those.
We have an email address, too. It's foodstampscookingclub@gmail.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we thank you for your time, Connie, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Lorraine. It was a joy.
We look forward to doing this again sometime real soon. You can update on the new happenings.
That'll be fun.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.